Eat this! I'm on it! Ruin Evil Fly! Vacuum Blade! Rising Wyvern! I'm not done! Start up! Soaring Light Spear! Still! Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Denied! Can't get out of this! Swallow Dance! We got the advantage! Good. Just have to make sure we keep it. Don't worry, because law's on.
Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Action through action! No! It's on! Mirage!
Photon, lightning condensed! Thunderbolt! Between heaven and earth! A wailing dynasty of lightning!
Try harder! You're mine! I'm not done!
In here! This will come in handy!
Orochi Fury! Swallow Blade! Orochi Fury!
Any injuries?
Can't get out of this! I'm not done! Slash! Nothing gets by me! Vacuum Blade!
Glacial Spear!
Here I come! It's over! The enemy wields arms too.
You'll soon see about that!
You're mine! There!
Just
getting started! Rising Wyvern! Start up! Soaring Light! I'll burn it all! Flaming Pillar! Fire!
Hear me! Flame of Fury! Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
No escape! Vacuum Blade! Rising Wyvern!
You fight better at a distance. Further away the better. You and I both.
Here I come! No escape! Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here,
Now! Here I come! No escape! Vacuum Blade! Rising Wyvern! You're mine! Strike! Soaring Light
Glacial
Spear!
Spear! Pierce evil!
Now!
Astral energy! Full throttle! We won that by a mile! This will be a delicious piece of cake!
Vacuum Blade!
Denied!
You're mine! You're Here I come! I'm not done! Vacuum Blade! Now I can let loose! No escape! Take this! You're mine!
I'll stop its charge! Thanks, Kitara!
No escape! Swallow Blade! Hold nothing back! Slash! Swallow Blade! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Talon Hurricane!
You're my
Weapon tear! Dance in the wind! Eagle of
Ignite!
Hurricane! Light Astral Crazy
I'm not done! Swallow Blade! Try this!
A pain between heaven and earth!
Eat your
A
finish!
wailing dynasty of lightning! There you go! Don't let up!
Here I come!
Here's a healing
I'm
from
not
the
done!
wind! Ready to go! In here!
you are.
Talon Hurricane!
I'm not done!
Watch it! A freezing storm!
See what happened there is you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that.
No escape!
Lightning
Damn!
Talon Hurricane!
Vacuum blade! Rising Arbor!
Here's evil!
Move!
Whirling Genji of
You're
Flame
finished!
Lancer!
You're on! Last
Here's a
shot!
healer! First aid!
Here I come! Swallow blade! Infernal torrent! Here I come! You're finished! Take this!
Radiant, they're together!
The water's getting
Here,
close.
let's
Try
go.
harder! Not a chance!
First strike!
First aid! Tidal wave!
Away! Burn!
By the power of water! Here's a dance in the wind!
I have no limits! You're mine!
We have
Take it! It's too much! You're on! Orochi's
Here, let
Fury!
me help!
Eat this!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let's go! First aid! Dance in the wind!
Take it!
Dance in the wind!
All good things come to an end.
Strike!
Here,
There!
first aid! Hey, drink it!
Watch it!
Go!
I'm taking too much damage!
There! Here I come!
Dance in the wind!
Vacuum blade!
Get on
You're finished! Try hard, my turn!
I'm sorry.
Oh, you are good. I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
I still got the
Come on!
fire in me.
Strike! Okay, here I go!
Freaking does it!
The flame inside me yearns to be
Do
let
it!
free! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! My turn! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
With this, I can become even stronger. Here?
It's here?
Yes. All the energy flowing through the wedge comes together and collects here.
Is that thing a Zoogle? Holy crap, it's huge!
A central core and a guardian?
Once we beat that thing, it'll stop the wedge from taking in any more astral energy, right?
It seems we're in for a fight regardless.
Here it comes. Stay sharp, everyone!
Is there no end to what the Renans can cook up?
I don't know if that's machine or what, but I do know it's pissing me off!
Watch yourself. There is no knowing what it is capable of.
Any other wisdom you want to pass along?
Here I come!
Eagle die!
Radiant, here!
I'm not done!
Glacial spear.
Here I come!
Here's evil.
I'm not done!
Freeze
Soaring
Blaster.
Light Spear!
There, go.
Take this.
I'm only getting. I'm all stuffed up.
I'm not
Man, thousand gales. Magna ray. Ready to go.
Here I come!
Glacial
Blast the
spear.
shock.
Pierce evil.
You're mine!
Freeze Blaster.
Struck! Soaring Light Spear!
None shall escape my judgment.
You're mine! No escape! Take this!
None shall escape my
judgment!
Stardust! Here I come! Soaring Light Spear! It's over! Mirage!
None shall escape my judgment! Eagle Assault! Ray!
Strike!
Malevolent! None shall escape my judgment!
You're mine!
Dance to
No
the wind!
escape! Rising Wyvern! I'm not done!
We got the advantage.
Good. Just have to make sure we keep it.
Don't worry, cause Raw's on it.
Flame of Fury! Burning!
Here I come! Stardust! Soaring Light Spear!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
Mirage!
Freeze Lancer!
Strike!
Spear! Pierce evil!
Try harder! You're mine!
Let me help! Eagle Assault!
Okay, here I go! Rising Wyvern! I'm not done! Stardust!
Ice
Mirage!
Tornado!
Take this!
Radiant Pierce!
Here I come!
Breathing Storm! Ice
Take this!
Tornado!
I'm not done!
Divine! Glacial Spear!
You're mine!
Pierce evil! Freeze Lancer!
Fly! Burn in hell!
I'm only getting what and weak!
Strike!
Mega Ray!
Here I come!
Where are you going?
Strike! Rising Wyvern!
Here, let me help! First aid! Take it! It's over! Radiant Pierce!
You're mine! Stardust!
Glacial Spear! Pierce
Soaring
evil!
Light Spear!
I owe you so much, Rinro.
Maybe my arts do have a place in this world.
Sure. It's time you can do it.
Stardust!
Look here! Radiant Light! Back into the
Mirage!
fray! Annihilation! Radiant Pierce!
Here I come! It's over!
Radiant Pierce! Glacial Spear! Pierce evil! Freeze Lancer!
I'm not done! This one's all mine! Soaring
None
Light
shall
Spear!
escape my judgment!
First
Take
strike!
Ray!
First strike!
None
Here
shall
I
escape
come!
my judgment!
Stardust! Soaring
Ray!
Light Spear!
Who wants to die next?
Mirage!
The finishing blow.
You'll need to beat me to it, kid.
I'll take on that challenge.
Strike! Burn in hell!
Radiant
Coil
Pierce!
Blade! Try this!
I'm out of ammo!
And go for it! You're mine!
Annihilation!
Strike!
Hear me! Flame of Fury! Burning!
Infernal Torrent!
Glacial Spear!
You're
Pierce
finished!
evil! Freeze Lancer! Here's a healing arc! First
I
aid!
owe you one.
A freezing storm!
No escape!
Ice
Mirage!
Tornado! Here's a healing arc!
Take this! No
First
escape!
aid!
Stardust!
Glade, do it!
Soaring Light Spear! Is it over?
What the hell is going on?
Ridwell! It's too dangerous! Stay back!
Goodwill!
I'm not the only one.
I heard it. Whatever it was, I heard it.
As did I. I'm not sure I'd call it a voice, but it was there.
What in the world just happened?
That was Dana's astral energy we just encountered. And I think what we heard might have been its voice?
You're saying astral energy has a mind of its own?
I haven't the slightest idea. But do you remember what happened when we fought Balseph back in Calaglia?
You mean when that fire monster came out of the spirit vessel?
Exactly. There was such a huge overflow of astral energy, it caused a monster to spawn and take physical form. Maybe the same thing happened here, just with way more astral energy and a bigger monster.
Does that mean if you gather enough astral energy, it can become sentient or take a physical form?
That's what I'm guessing, but it's just speculation. Master Cores are able to hold a lot more energy than a spirit vessel, but we still haven't seen anything like that happen in our dealings with them.
That being said, there may be a mechanism of sorts inside Master Cores and spirit vessels that prevent such reactions.
That fire monster. I remember how it only appeared after Balseph's spirit vessel broke.
Then the reason Rinwell was able to sense all that astral energy earlier must have been because it was too much for that Zoogle to contain by itself.
So, then where do you think the Zoogle went? All that energy and poof, it's gone. The Zoogle with it. Doesn't that sound weird to anyone?
Indeed it does. However, in order for us to move our hypothesis forward, we will need to gather more evidence first. On that note, how are you holding up, Rinwell?
I just can't work out why. Why the voice reached out to me first.
Rinwell?
I can't help but wonder if it's because of my heritage that I was the one to hear it. Sorry. That's a strange thing to think, isn't it? Anyway, we should get going, right? We need to make sure the energy flow has actually stopped.
Are we gonna have to take this winding path all the way back down, too?
Yeah, but if anything, it should be easier than the climb up.
Everything all right? You kinda looked like you wanted to get something off your chest.
Huh? Oh,
Or not, you know, whatever.
yeah. You know...
Yeah?
Sorry, never mind. Just forget it.
You wanna try being a little less cryptic, maybe? Yeah, all right, jeez. Sorry for taking an interest.
Stop it! It's okay, Hootle! Sorry. I guess I still don't really know how to put it into words.
Nah, that's fine. No rush. It might help you to talk about it, though.
I'll keep that in mind. And thanks.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Watch it!
Burning strike!
Here I come! Take this! Little escape! There!
Sleep now!
Rising light!
Storm!
This one's all mine!
These sticks have got your name on them!
Easter!
Here's a healing art!
Try this! Infernal torrent!
Oh, now you're talking! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here's a healing art! here and now! Diana is watching this week! Hear me! Flame of Fury!
I'm not done!
Here's a healing arc! First aid! Divine Strength! Quality Storm! That's freaking done! Lemonade Cleanser! Paladin Hurricane!
It's on!
Eagle Fly! Just the top!
I'll finish you here and now! Here I come! Let's tear him up! You're finished!
Shouldn't have messed with me! Eat this! More healing arc! Freeze Lancer! Dance in the wind!
Eat this!
Now I'm in here! Eagle Assault! Eagle Fly!
Infernal Turret!
Here's a healing arc! First aid! I owe you, Tion. Healing is...
I'll crush you!
Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! Do it!
Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
Here I come!
Tectonic punch! Reload! It was nice. Divine Strength!
Paladin Hurricane! Stardust!
Eagle Fly!
Soaring Light Spear! Mirage!
Now I'm in the groove! Freezing Storm! A chain hurricane! Ice Tornado! Eagle Fly!
Storm! I'm not done! Swallow Blade!
I'll stop its charge! Thanks, Kisara! I'm on a roll now! I'm ready!
Take this!
Swallow Fury! Hear me! Freezing Fury!
I'm not done!
Glacial Spear! Pierce the Eagle!
Swallow Blade! Infernal Turret! Take this!
These sticks have got your name on them! This one's mine! I hope this thing is meant to be! Tion! Go for it! Prepare to crumble!
With this, I can become even stronger.
It's on!
I can carve through
You're
walls!
mine!
Here! Paladin Hurricane! Steering Flame! Now I'm in the groove! I'll fix you up!
I'm not done! Stardust!
Let's tear him up! Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here's a healing arm!
Not a chance!
Eat this! First aid! I'll fix you up! Now I'm in the groove! Redwell! Astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory!
Oh!
Now I'm real mad!
Soaring Light Spear! Mirage!
Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here,
Now!
let me help.
Go away! I owe you one!
Do it!
You're mine! Light Burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Take it! Burn!
Shattering!
Vacuum Blade! Plasma Shock!
Now I'm flying free! What can we just still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
No further!
Shouldn't have messed with me!
Plasma Shot!
We are freaking invincible! Alvin and the others truly are strong! What about me?
Fang Blast! Take it! Crush!
Here, let me help!
Rising Wyvern! Prepare to be sealed!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
This one's all mine!
Freeze Lancer! Do it! Eagle! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here,
My
Failing
turn!
Darkness!
I'm not done!
First aid!
I owe you one!
Do it! Tion! Astral energy! Full throttle! That worked like a dream.
I pity anyone who stands in our way.
Burn! Shut him down.
Swirl blade.
Do it! Blow them away! Come one, come all!
Lightning up now! And I'll get toasty!
Bird strike!
Right, next one!
Take this!
Already on! Now, get toasty!
Bird strike!
No complaints from me.
Be a breeze. Get in, get out. Burn out! Eagle assault! Take this!
Lightning orb!
You're finished!
Just getting started!
Rising
Between
eagle!
heaven and earth!
That freaking does
A
it!
wailing banshee of lightning!
You're mine!
Now,
I'm not done!
that freaking does it!
I'm on it!
Here's
It's
a
your
healing
back
nail!
station!
Tear you to shreds! First
I
aid!
owe you one. Time to let it rip! Swallow blade!
Between heaven and earth! A wailing banshee of lightning! Hurricane!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Done! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing arm!
Go away!
First aid!
Here I come!
When the lightning disappears!
The flame Inferno! Yours! Be let free! I'm not done!
A wailing
Rising
banshee of
weapon!
lightning!
I'm not done!
Really owe you one.
Tear!
Divine state! Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Take this! Denied!
Purge malevolence!
Now in the groove!
In here! More for the stockpile!
Lewis, get this!
Supernova!
Slash! Rising Wyvern! Lewis, escape!
Freeze Lancer!
Rising
Dance in the
Falcon!
wind! Air thrust!
Rising Wyvern!
No!
I won't give in. You see what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that.
Here's a healing arm!
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint.
No editing, silly.
I'm not done!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
A freezing storm! Lightning orb! Raging battle!
Here and now! Swallow blade! Rising Wyvern! Take this!
Thousand gales! Carry
I'm
you to
not
shreds!
done! Vacuum blade!
Here's a healing arm! Nail!
Rising Wyvern! No escape! Swallow blade! Here I come! I'm not done!
Damn it! Far enough! No more playing nice!
Here I come! I'm not done! It's over! Rising Wyvern! Not today!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here,
Do it! Chitara! All yours, Chitara!
Looks like it could be worth something.
Gotta break
Here's
through!
a healing arc.
Take it!
First
I'm not done!
Raging Cat! Not on my watch!
Here I come!
Talon Hurricane!
Rising Wyvern!
Eagle
I'm not done!
Here's
Sona! It's over! Lunar Rondo! You're on! Take it!
I'll finish you here
Swallow
now!
Blade!
Dance in the wind! Let the air
I'm not done!
do it! Between heaven and earth! Astral energy! Full throttle!
A flawless victory.
Naturally! Radiant
You're on!
light! Back into the fray!
There!
Annihilation!
Blast my shot!
Swallow dance! Do it!
You're finished!
Freelance!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! Guess we don't know our own strength.
You could say that again.
Out of our way!
Not today!
Annihilation! Raging
mine!
Mega Ray!
Blow away!
Annihilation!
There!
Mega Ray between heaven and
Rising
earth!
Wyvern! No escape!
Wailing Chariot of Lightning!
Soaring Light Spear!
Seal! Radiant!
Rising Wyvern!
Direct wind!
I'm not done! Swallow Blade!
Swallow dance!
You're mine! It's too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
You're on! The flaming fire cured to be let
I
free!
guess you have your uses now and again.
Told ya. Lie, son. Not further.
Damn, you're not like that all the time.
You're mine!
Glitter Bulldozer coming through!
Vacuum Blade!
Now!
Don't leave. Hey! Blow them away! Did you see?
Sure did. The part where you swung and missed, right?
Not that part!
Ah, guess I misread the landing.
Hi, Hoodle!
No escape! Swallow Blade! Swallow Dance! Take it! No escape! Eagle Assault!
Watch
Soaring
this!
Light Spear!
Eagle Dive!
Here I come! Vacuum Blade! Rising Wyvern! Here I come!
Lightning Cathedral Ray!
You're finished!
Thunder Blade!
Soaring Light
Between
Spear!
heaven and earth!
I'm on it! Take
Now!
it! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Lightning
astral arc?
That's my cue!
Vacuum Blade! Shut him down! Rising Wyvern!
I'm only getting started!
It's over!
Gemini
Blast the
onward!
shock!
Eat this!
Annihilation!
Here I come! No escape! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
Get lost!
Here I come!
Can't get out of this!
Lightning condemned!
Rising Wyvern!
Freeze level! Contained between heaven and earth!
What's this?
Soaring Light Spear!
Unity of
Come on!
lightning!
Here I come!
Searing flame!
You're down!
Dance in the wind!
Here I come!
I'm just getting
You
started!
picked the wrong fight! Swallow Blade! It's going through it!
Eagle Fly! You got this one covered!
Here I come! Blow away!
Glacial Steel! Here's the Eagle!
Orochi Fury! You're mine!
Chinese Supernova! Photon Blast!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! now! Talon Storm!
Purge Malevolence!
You're mine! Take this!
Hurricane!
Eagle Side! Soaring Light Stick! You're out! You're finished!
Purge Malevolence!
You're mine!
All citizens hear it now!
It's over! I'm not done! Swallow Blade! You're mine! This isn't looking good! Rising Warrior!
Here's Evil!
Take this! You're mine! Swallow Blade!
Now I'm in the groove!
This'll come in handy.
The flame inside you yearns to be let free!
Now!
Double me! In an instant! Impact Clock!
Looks like it could be worth something.
It looks like that beam of light has stopped.
Then is it safe to say we've avoided oblivion for the time being?
I can still sense a faint glimmer of energy, though. It hasn't completely dispersed.
You can tell? Rinwell, your senses seem a lot sharper than before, don't they?
And you said you heard that voice, right?
I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I don't feel bad, though.
If trace amounts, however small, do remain, then it leaves us no choice. We must destroy the entire structure.
What do you suggest? We bring it down piece by piece?
Once that's done, what do we do then?
We go to Lenegis. Even if we could destroy the whole wedge like he suggested, it'd only buy us time. The fact they sent this thing down tells me they're not giving up this planet without a fight.
There's also the matter of the Renis Alma. Its circumstances still have yet to be truly resolved.
But how do we even get to Lenegis?
What if we hotwire one of their starships? There's gotta be one on the planet somewhere, right?
Starships are only seen on Dana at the start and end of the Crown Contest. Otherwise, they remain on Lenegis. Believe it or not, we Renans down here aren't quite as free to come and go as one might think.
Great. Well, I'm out of ideas then. We definitely don't have the tech to build a starship. And even if we found a Renin who'd help, who knows how long that'd take.
Yeah. Waiting for a starship to come down from Lenegis would probably be quicker than that.
Wait. Alphen, when you came down from Lenegis, it had to have been in a starship of your own, right?
Right. Oh, of course.
You can't be serious. That was 300 years ago. There's no way it's still gonna work.
That Alphen didn't wake up until a few years ago. That means it had to have still been functioning that whole time to keep his body preserved.
Indeed. You wouldn't happen to remember where you landed, would you?
My memories around where I parked are still a little hazy, but I do know that I woke up in Calaglia, so chances are it's still in the area. At least it's a place to start. Luckily, that realm's my old stomping ground, so I should be able to get us some help finding her.
This is it.
Yeah. As long as Lenegis stands there, there's no avoiding it.
So what's this help in Calaglia you're planning to enlist?
My buddy Nath. If anyone there knows something, I figure it's him. But first, we need to catch a boat and get back to the mainland. Our first port of call is Ulzebek.
Back where you first started out.
Yeah, along with my dad.
You okay? You don't look so good.
I think I'm just a little seasick, that's all.
Liar.
Huh?
You heard me. You've never been good at hiding your emotions, Shion.
Excuse me? Just what do you... No. You're right. I'm sorry.
Is it about Alphen?
No. Not just him.
Something you can't talk about?
Rinwell, I'm not like the rest of you.
Of course you are! No, I'm serious. Back when we first met, I think maybe then I did think we were different. But now I know that isn't true. You and I are the same, Shion. We're alike in more ways than you know. If any of us is different, it's me. I'm a Danon who can use magic. I may be the last. My family and I have been living in hiding as long as I can remember.
Everyone has their own pain that can be hard for other people to understand. I saw the two of you talking and thought you could use a third wheel. So, here I am. Sorry.
If anyone's the odd one out here, it's me. Believe me, you don't want to listen to my problems.
Want me to go?
I didn't say that.
I get that you must have a lot circling around that head of yours. And that's okay. Whatever's worrying you right now, you're allowed to worry about it. And you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. I know I'm not a Renin like you, or a mage like Rinwell. I'm not a sovereign, maiden, or lord. I'm just a Danon who used to be a slave. But regardless of all that, I'm here for you, Shion.
That goes for me too. We all want to be there for you. Me and Hootle and even the boys. I promise. I mean, that is what friends are supposed to do, right?
I said this to Alphen, and now I'll say it to you. You're not alone in this.
Thank you. Rinwell. Kisara.
And right on cue, I think I should make my way back and lie down for a bit. My battle with this ship continues.
Yeah, I better head back too. We wouldn't want the guys thinking they're in charge. Can you imagine Law at the helm? Who knows what kind of trouble we'd get into?
Still, if that's true, then it's all the more reason I have to do this.
tired, Hootle?
You sure he's not just trying to hide from us?
Alright, something is definitely up with Shion.
Yeah, something big by the looks of it. I've never seen her so serious.
So, do you think we should say something to Alphen then?
I was wondering the same thing myself, but then it occurred to me. Whatever this thing on her mind is, it's probably the last thing in the world she wants people to know about. If she's trying this hard to keep it secret, then it's not really our place to go telling people before she's ready.
Yeah.
I can't tell them. There's just no way I could, right? What am I supposed to do?
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
I wonder what we'll find out there this time.
Most likely Zeugles, I would reckon.
I mean, other than them.
We should be able to cook here. Did we really just spend that much money?
Who wants to bet it's sunny tomorrow?
And where exactly do you think the money for this bet is going to come from?
Tengald says it rains.
Dohalim! Looks perfect and tastes just as good.
Rinwell, mind if we chat a little? What's wrong? You're looking pretty down. Something on your mind?
Yeah, you could say that. It's just, well, there's something that's been eating away at me for a long, long time. Do you mind if I share it with you?
Of course not. I'm glad to listen.
See, my mom and dad used to tell me I shouldn't go around casting magic. But there was one time I did, behind their backs. And when I did, Almeidrea showed up.
Huh?
I hated Almeidrea for destroying everything I loved. But what I hated most was myself. For breaking my promise to my parents. Even though I swore I'd get revenge, there was always this nagging part of me that wondered if I even had any right to do so.
Rinwell, it was Almeidrea who killed your family. Don't torment yourself over one mistake.
How can you say that when my mother and father died because of me?
This may not comfort you much, but I'll say it anyway. I have a feeling your parents always knew something like that might happen.
What do you mean?
There was always a chance that someday, someone was going to find you and your family. But even knowing the risks, they still taught you magic. And there are two reasons I can think of for that. First, your talent. Second, they were hedging their bets.
Huh? On what?
On you, Rinwell. On how you turn out when you grew up. Sure, learning magic may invite danger, but it would have been even more dangerous to live in hiding without being able to defend yourself. They knew what they were getting themselves into when they taught you magic. And I think they did it because of how much they loved you.
Because my mother and father loved me.
Sorry, I know I shouldn't be putting words into your parents' mouths.
No, it's okay. I used to think I would have been better off if I never knew how to use magic. And if I'm really honest with myself, sometimes I still think that. But after traveling around with all of you guys, I've learned that there are things I can do with magic. That there's a point to it after all. So I'm going to keep trying. I'm gonna try and accept it as part of who I am. I want to use it to protect my friends. To protect the future of Dana. Do you think that's selfish of me?
Not at all. I wouldn't want it any other way with you, Rinwell.
Hootle, let me know if you sense anything. Thanks to you, I was able to rest easy.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
Thank you. Great!
Yeah.
I wish I could get an examination.
Well, if you say so. Let me see, yes, you're in well, all right?
If only your brain could keep up with your mouth.
Ah, Calaglia.
Everyone around here looks so much happier than they used to.
I'll say. It feels like an entirely different place. I suppose it's had time to adjust to its newfound freedom.
Zephyr would have been so happy to see this.
Yeah, he really would have. Especially if he knew Law was... Law? Something bothering you, Law?
Nah, I'll be fine. It's just, you know.
It still weighs on you, doesn't it? Running away back then.
I abandoned my home. Then when I finally come back, it's been liberated. What's important is that it's free. I get that, I do. I just... I should have been here.
Just one thing after another, and it all falls on my head too.
Hey, Nath.
What? Can't you see I'm... Alphen?
Looks like you have your hands full.
As much as ever. As if I wasn't busy enough putting down the last remnants of Renan rule, I'm up to my ears in Dahnan disputes. And then, to top it all off, that thing had to come crashing down from out of the sky.
Pretty sure we've heard this somewhere before.
But enough about my problems. What can I help you with?
Yeah, we're looking for an old Renan starship. You wouldn't happen to know any around these parts, would you?
A starship? What do you need one of those for?
To get to Lenegis.
Lenegis? Are you out of your damn mind?
Believe it or not, it wouldn't be the craziest thing we've done recently.
Well, I believe it. Well, either way, I'm afraid I haven't heard anything about a starship.
Then do you have any historical records by chance?
Sure, we've got stacks of old records.
Mind if we take a look at them?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Nath.
I read through all of the records, but I only found a single line that might point to what we're looking for. It mentions a rock that shot across the sky and landed past the mountains. The event was recorded just before the first Renan invasion.
And you think that might be the starship?
I don't know. There was nothing else in the records that came even close. It looked like it was someplace called Berg, but maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Berg?
That ring any bells for you?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest volcanoes in Calaglia. I was just there recently, investigating a report of a meteor someone saw.
Another meteor in the same area? Really?
I wonder if it could have been one of those lights that shot out of the wedge.
All the more reason to check it out. Can you tell us how to get there?
The old Zion mine is up that way. One of the veins we abandoned connects to the volcano. Go ahead and use that. But you should be careful.
Huh?
I don't know if it has anything to do with the meteor. There's a giant Zoogle running riot in there. Never seen anything like it.
A Zoogle, huh?
I turned back as soon as I caught sight of the thing, so I can't tell you much more. Just be real careful if you head out that way.
All right.
I guess...
Right.
I didn't like the sound of that monster Nath was talking about one bit.
Well, we have to press on. We're going through Zion Mine to Berg Volcano. Let's move.
Everything okay with Hootle, Rinwell? He seems kinda out of spirits.
It must be the heat getting to him. We don't get these kind of temperatures back in Cyslodia.
Galaglians born and raised here struggle with it too, so it's no surprise.
Aha! So that's why his plumage is so white. He was born in a winter wonderland.
Actually, Dan and owls absorb the astral energy of whatever land they're raised in. Where they're born doesn't affect their appearance at all. But that's not why he's white. The real reason is that he's still just a baby. Whew!
You mean their plumage changes color depending on where they grow up? Weird.
And with all this traveling we've been doing, it wouldn't surprise me if his wings ended up looking like a colorful painting.
I think he suits his snowy complexion. It'll feel strange to see him change.
How awesome would it be if his head and wings were different colors, and his stomach and sides, like a map of our travels? Ow, lay off, will ya? So much for the heat making him docile.
You've only yourself to blame for that one. Hootle takes pride in his appearance, you know.
Fascinating. An appreciation of aesthetic beauty in an owlet so young.
Dohalim, I think you've drawn his attention.
No choice. Swallow blade.
None shall escape my...
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor. You guys want to rest here? What should I fix today?
Wasabi.
Rice! Ice cream!
Meat!
Caviar!
You guys aren't helping.
Hell yeah! There's no way you can complain about how this tastes!
You should get some shut-eye.
Come on, Rinwell! Up and at 'em!
But I'm still all sleepy.
It's quite hot here. The climate feels...
It's on!
I'm ready for the next battle.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
So we're back in the Zion Mine tunnels. Who would have thought we'd be going through this place again? This is where you and I first fought together.
And also the first time we touched, as I recall.
Wait, really?
Yes, really.
So this path is supposed to take us out to Berg Volcano?
We're not gonna see any lava burst out in front of us or anything, are we?
Don't get so paranoid you let a rock fall on your head, Law. So hot.
Well... yeah. We've reached the inner portion of Berg Volcano.
We need to find that starship. And fast.
No choice.
Freezing storm.
You're mine! I'm not done! Solar Blade! Here I come! No escape!
Here goes! Cyan Instant!
You're
Here!
on! No escape!
Pesky
Do
airborne
it!
scoundrel!
Rinwell, Astral Energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory! Naturally!
Slash! Azure Storm! This one's all mine!
I'll be saving this one!
You're mine! I'm not done! Rising Weapon!
Do it!
I'm not done!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Raging Cascade!
My turn!
By the power of water!
Rising Wyvern!
Do it! Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Thunderblade! They're surrounding us!
No armor can stop me!
Remind me to stay on your good side.
Eagle Assault! I'm just getting started! Eagle Dive!
Let's get you all tucked away!
Rise it up!
Annihilation! Water Astral Energy! Here goes!
An Astral Arch?
That's my cue!
Shut him down! Try harder! Here I come! No escape!
Waterfall!
Swallow Blade! Rising Wyvern!
Freeze Blast!
Mirage!
Dance to the wind! Air thrust!
This one's coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Not a chance! Strike! This one's all mine!
Freeze Blast! A whirling dancing lightning!
Strike! Swallow Blade! Rising Wyvern! Okay, here I go!
Heaven and earth!
You're mine! No escape! Rising Wyvern! No escape! I'm not done!
Shouldn't have messed with me!
Here's the healing art!
Now! Here I come! Strike!
Do it! Run well! Demons descend! Flashing bang! Yeah, I look pretty flashy out there.
So glad it met with your approval.
We got some good... good equipment!
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
Huh.
Get lost!
Azure Storm! Here I come!
I can carve through armor!
I'm not done!
If it curls up, time to get out of the way.
No escape! Slash! Rising Wyvern! Take this!
I'll stop its charge! Thanks, Kisara! Glacial Spear! Here's the evil! Arctic Waterfall! Unsupplier complete focus! Tectonic Punch!
Take this!
Quite
No escape!
Back to the fray!
Swallow Blade!
Do it!
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Now! Its armor's too strong!
Split it open!
Be my guest!
Eat this!
Annihilation!
Rising Wyvern!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Remember!
Astral Energy!
Say no more! That astral energy was incredible!
I gave it everything I had.
You can make plants grow instantly? What if we use this for fruits and vegetables?
I'd rather not be our party's fertilizer, thank you very much.
An opponent like this should be easy. I'm not done!
Not on my watch!
I'm not done! Vacuum Blade! Azure Storm! Rising Wyvern!
Now! Frozen!
Hammer!
Came between heaven and earth!
What's this? Flying free! Why can't they just sit still?
Sienna, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done! Dance to the wind!
You're mine!
Air thrust!
Don't knock, Maria.
Maybe my art
Astral Energy! Full throttle!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Their hide is thick as armor.
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life.
May 1,000 gales carry you dry. I'm all stopped up. Mega Ray, Gusty Nail.
Soaring Launch Spear!
Mega
You're
Ray.
on! Here I come!
I'll dash in your defenses.
Glad you have your uses.
No escape!
I'll show you how useful I can
Rising
be.
Wyvern!
Now I'm in the groove.
Get toasty!
Bird strike.
Right, next one.
Already on.
It's over! Vacuum Blades! Rising Wyvern!
Do it.
Ghidorah, go for it!
Prepare to crumble.
I need to be stronger.
My face is starting to sting. And my throat feels super parched.
Here, have some... some water. Just make sure you don't drink too much.
Thanks.
You want some too, Shion? Oh, wait. I bet you're... hungry more than anything, aren't you?
I'm
Right, here goes! First strike! Thunder Storm! I'm not
Coming through! Cyan Instant!
Are those rockets?
Rising Wyvern!
There you go! Go on then! Very well! Astral Energy! Full throttle!
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
Eat this!
I'm not done! Strike! Swallow Blade! Savage Storm! Soaring Spear!
Here's a healing! Let's go!
Now I'm in the groove.
Now!
Got 5?
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! My turn!
Gemini Ultra!
No escape!
Annihilation!
Swallow Blade!
Searing Flame! Leave the enemy's arc to me!
No complaints here.
You got control! Searing Flame! Reload! Gusty Nail! Sighted! Into the shadows!
Did you hear it now?
Mega Ray! Firmament Render!
We got the advantage.
Good. Just have to make sure we keep it.
Don't worry. Log on.
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Man,
Now!
take
Take
this!
this!
To shreds!
No escape!
Gusty Nail!
Rising Wyvern!
Do it.
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
We managed to pull through.
This will be a delicious piece of cake!
They got me flanked.
I'm not done!
Reload! Lightning Rosette! Between heaven and earth! Here, let me help! Confiscated!
Rising Wyvern! Here I
The flashing part's their weak point!
You're on!
Too much to handle?
Strike!
None shall
You're mine!
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that!
Swallow Blade! Rising Wyvern! I'm not done!
I'll finish you.
Flame of Fury!
These fists have got your name on them!
Glacier Spear! Here's evil!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Rising Wyvern! Take this!
Freeze Lancer! Instant! It's weakened! Dance in the wind!
This
Do
way!
it! Now! Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one!
Already on! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! My turn!
I'll smash you!
Vacuum blade!
Now! Celine! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Great
No
Onyx
chance!
Ray on instant!
No escape! Rising Wyvern!
Purge Malevolence!
Soaring Light Spear!
Ringo! Frozen!
Hammer!
I've been doing really great lately.
No choice!
First strike!
Not in your dreams!
Take it!
Here!
Rip and tear!
Rising Wyvern! I'm not
Chain
done!
between heaven and earth!
Soaring Light
Oblivion!
Spear!
Here's evil!
Mirage!
Sweeping
No
Blazer!
escape!
Take
Swallow
that!
blade!
You all tucked away! May a thousand tales tear you to
I'm not
dream
done!
Back into the fray! Mega Ray!
I'm not...
Annihilation for
I'm not done! You're finished! Rising Wyvern!
We're in the home stretch, guys!
What you say? Eyes on the prize!
That focus goes double for you, Law!
Me? How come I get singled out?
Storm! Come one, come all! It's over!
Now in the sleep!
Orochi Fury! Here I come! Move it! Strike! Azure Storm! Take it! Now! Rising Wyvern!
Must be easy to pick off the bad guys from far off.
It is. I mean, aside from adjusting for movement, wind speed, trajectory...
See? Easy.
This bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely. Though I won't make any promises.
Which one is it?
Gotta break through! Take this!
Now you see what I can do!
I'm not done!
A wailing dancing
Soaring Light Spear! You're on! It's over! Take this!
You're here!
Cut!
Get on in there with the others!
Swallow Blade! No escape! First strike! Soaring Light Spear!
Astral energy! Full
Here we go
I'm not
again.
done! Swallow blade!
Talon Hurricane!
There!
Now! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes.
Easy.
A breeze.
An easy breeze.
Go no further!
No escape!
Talon Hurricane!
Here I come! I'm not done!
Let me help.
I'm not done!
I owe you, Sion.
Healing is what my art is at.
All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction. Here's a
Take
healing arc.
this! Strike!
First aid!
You're finished!
Eat this!
Talon Hurricane! Vanquish damage!
Do it!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
What's this thing?
It's crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there will be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try anything funny. Especially you, Law. No pushing anyone, not even as a joke.
I'm not a little kid!
Dispose of the trash.
Smash you!
Here I come!
I'm on it!
Not in your dreams.
Strike!
Eat this!
Rising Wyvern! No escape!
Wailing Banshee
Stun up!
annihilation.
Soaring Light Spear!
Hit a word!
Try harder! Lighter!
Let's
Azure
get you all
Storm!
this away. This one's mine.
I'm not done! Swallow Blade!
Raging
I'll take you
Cascade.
all on!
Watch this!
I'm
You
not
ready to
done!
handle? Do it. Dance in the wind. Get toasty.
Bird strike!
Right. Next one.
Now!
Eat this! Already on it!
Mega ray. Lightning. Downfall.
Here I come!
Divine
I'm not done! Swallow Blade! Rising Wyvern! You're mine!
There you go. Don't let up.
Stun up!
You do it. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished! Now! Rising Wyvern! I'm not done! Mirage!
This calls for a celebratory drink.
Go no further.
Rising Wyvern! No escape!
Annihilation. Hammond. Flame of fury.
Mirage!
Glacier Spear. Pierce the evil.
No escape! Azure Storm! Strike!
A wailing Banshee of
Here I
lightning.
come! You're finished! Stun us!
Here's a healing arm.
Take this!
You see what
Fight
happened
better
there
at a
as you crossed
distance.
me.
Further away, the better.
You and I both.
I'm like bait to them.
Not again!
Let the marksman handle this.
Vacuum Blade! Azure Storm! Swallow
Now,
Blade!
Kisara, go for it.
Prepare to crumble.
Looks like we got them all.
Guess I misread the landing.
Come and face me!
Here I go!
You picked the wrong fight!
Please, sir! Glacial Stream! Pierce evil!
Here I come! I'm not done! Azure Storm! Rising Wyvern!
Here I go!
Struck!
Evil Storm! Now! Astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory! Naturally! Searing Lightning Supernova!
Here I come! Struck! There! Azure Storm! Blast the shot!
Evil Storm! Searing
Take it!
Reload! Raging Cascade! Sighted!
I'm not done! This one's all mine! Here I come!
Armor won't save you!
Blue escape!
You see what happened there is you crossed me. Shouldn't have done
Here
that.
I come! Blue escape! Seven Knuckle! Rising Wyvern! Blue escape!
Here it goes! Freeze Lancer!
Soaring Light Spear! You're mine!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Now! Here I come! I'm not done! Soaring Light Spear!
A wailing Banshee of Lightning!
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On me? Well, I'll do my best.
We seem to have come across something a little unusual.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
Not in your dreams!
My turn!
Howard Hurricane! Firmament Render!
They're all coming after me.
I'm coming, Rinwell.
I'm not scared. Go for the weak point. Fine.
Escape! You picked the wrong fight!
There you go. Now you see what I can do.
Blue escape!
Arch
Blue escape!
Flame!
Take this!
You see what happened there is you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that.
Take it! Blue escape! Azure Storm!
Here!
There!
Far enough! Swallow dance!
Blue escape!
Strike! First aid!
Rising Wyvern!
I'm just getting struck.
Stolen! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! My turn!
Here goes! When the raging cascade spear!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Eat this!
Take this!
This one's mine!
Struck! Rising Wyvern! I'm not done!
I'm out of ammo! I'm all shot up!
This one's all yours! You're mine! Blue escape! Vacuum blade!
Not our Cybok!
There! Azure Storm! You're my not can't help! I'm not done!
Here's a healing one! First aid! A wailing Banshee of Lightning!
Now you see what I can do.
Struck!
Hear me!
It's
Flame of
over!
Fury!
Swallow blade!
Glacial Spear! Here's the wheel!
Rising Wyvern!
Do it! Here! Freeze Lancer!
I'll burn it all! Flaming Pillar! Fire! Not a chance!
I'm only getting started! Lightning Orb!
I'm not done! We're cleaning house!
Let me take the rest of them.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Step back. This one's all law.
there!
That's enough! Take that! Storm! My ass dance in the wind! Let me help. Sleep now. Birthday! Ready and war for the stockpile!
You're mine!
What's this?
I'm ready! Go for the weak point!
Now you see what I can do!
Take this!
Hurricane!
It's over!
Glimmer Dragon!
Dusty nail!
Now I hit the glue!
Rising over! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Now!
Anything warmer is all mine! Here's your fear! Pierce evil!
You're mine! Nothing nothing! Azure
Do it!
Storm! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! That's what I like to hear. I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Not necessarily. Both of them contain Earth astral energy.
What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on. Let's go! This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone!
Suddenly turning tail doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of course I'm scared!
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Zeugles? Take care of them while keeping an eye on it!
charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Rising Wyvern! You're mine!
Wailing spear of lightning!
Stardust!
I will!
Soaring Light Spear!
All man
Dance in the wind! Here you are! Light Raging Cascade!
Take this!
Here!
Rising Wyvern! Here I come!
Hurricane! Steel! Cyan back into the floor! Lightning! Downflow!
I'm not done!
Oh, now you're talking!
Here I come!
Reload! I can handle it!
No escape!
Raging Cascade! Flame! Reload!
Azure
I'm out of ammo!
Storm!
I'm on
Escape!
Here!
Take this!
Chinese Supernova!
I'm not done! Rising Wyvern!
Waterfall! Away! Freeze Lancer!
Soaring Light Spear! You're ours!
These fists have got your name on them!
Take this!
Amazing.
No escape! There! Azure Storm! You'll pay for that! Strike!
Like me,
Bring you back to this.
Eagle Assault! I'm just getting started! Eagle Prime!
Strike! Swallow Blade! Rising Wyvern!
Denied!
Here I come! No escape! Damn it! No escape! Slash! Rising Prime! You're mine! I'm not done! Ignite!
Now I'm in
You're
the
mine!
I
No
still got some
escape!
fight left in me.
Rising Wyvern! Here I come! Strike! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
You're on!
Let's tear 'em up!
I'm not done!
Here, let me help. First aid!
You're mine!
Steel lightning!
Strike! I'm not done!
Spear!
Azure
Here's
Storm!
Eagle!
Rising Wyvern!
Freeze
No
Lancer!
escape! Strike! Soaring Light Spear!
Here's a healing
It's
arm!
over!
First aid!
I'm not done! Try harder!
I can
Here's
carve
the
through
evil!
armor!
Take this! I'm not done!
Freeze
It's
Lancer!
time!
Steel!
Watch this!
Here I come!
Eagle Prime!
Rising Wyvern! I'm not done! It's over!
Here, look! Get toasty!
Bird Strike!
Right, next one!
Now!
Already
You're
on!
mine! I'm not done!
Alright!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here come more! You'll just have to keep fighting.
Leave the enemy's arch to me!
Milky Place here!
Vacuum Blade!
Arrow Storm! I can do this all day!
It's over!
This one's mine! Confiscating! Here goes!
You shouldn't have messed with me!
Swallow two! In here! First aid! Well tucked away!
Rising Wyvern!
Let's go! Don't mind if I do! Now! Law! Get toasty!
Bird Strike!
Here I go! Here
Take
goes!
this!
I'm only getting started!
Now I'm in the
You're on!
groove!
Rising Wyvern! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Radiant light! Photon flash! Current cold! Pearson!
Azure Storm!
Into the fray!
I'm not done! Last shot!
Kisara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Here goes!
All reinforcements incoming!
Not a problem! Confiscate! Right!
Great!
Dark Wind! Now you see what I can do!
Chinese Supernova!
I'm not done!
Why'd you do it?
To stop me dying?
Right.
There you go! They're all coming after me!
I'm coming, Manuel.
I'm not scared. I'm totally fine. Field! Here's
It's
a healing
over.
art! First aid!
Take this! I'm not done!
More with that
Take this!
Talon Hurricane!
A freezing
You're on!
Glimmer Blade!
Freeze
And
Lancer!
if you hear it,
I'm not done!
Confiscating!
Take this!
Eagle
Blade!
Prime!
Freezing storm!
Take this! No escape! Stardust!
Tornado! Here, let me
Stop!
out!
Thanks! Try harder! Not a chance!
Confiscating! Arc shield!
Okay, here I go.
Blow away!
Whoa! One at a time! Steering flare!
It's weakened now!
Goodwill! Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang! Easy!
Way to go!
Raging Cat! Don't mind if I do!
Swallow Blade!
Mega Ray! Gemini Aqua! Annihilation! Not in your dreams! Mega Ray!
You know, Law, watching you really makes me realize.
Makes you realize what?
Maybe thinking too much gets in the way sometimes.
Exactly! Don't think, just keep swinging.
Here's a healing arc! Eat that! I'm all stuffed up! None shall escape my judgment! Here, let me help.
You're mine! Strike! Slash! Rising Wyvern!
Here's Eva!
No escape!
Shield light! Freeze laser! Here goes! Here, let me help.
Talon Storm! Take this!
Do it! Get toasty!
Bird Strike!
It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
What was I thinking? Everyone all right?
We won't surrender. We won't retreat.
Not yet!
Whatever you do, just please stay safe.
How are we supposed to take on something so big?
I'll handle it. Just watch and learn! That's enough! Go back down! Everyone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
I can feel my precision improving.
Hey, is that it over there?
Alphen?
Did you remember something?
No, but I have seen this starship before. This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
Three centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alphen.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people, too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave? We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegis? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegis.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegis?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Xion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Xion can finally get rid of her thorns. Xion?
Huh? Yeah.
Where? Xion? Where'd Xion go? How could she just go off on her own? Xion. Xion! It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Volron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Xion. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shionne, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first. But ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
they will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renaissance on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's too much. It's way too much.
When this all began, I didn't care what happened. And what happened to the Renans or the Dahnans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shionne!
Alphen?
Living for the sake of dying is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alphen.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen! We can fight this! Fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shionne, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. If you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys...
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again. Shion. No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys... You're all so stubborn. Thank you, everyone. For right now, and a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you. So let's go. On to Lenegis.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Well, that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelegion. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shion what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it. Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard? How could I?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her. No matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Xion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is. Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Dahnans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the Blazing Sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two, and before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renins. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Xion.
But then, I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Xion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Dahnans and Renins, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. We depart for Lenegis.
Huh? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, we thought we'd turn the tables and critique your appearance for a change.
It's not fair if we're the only ones subjected to it.
What?
Did you guys hear? Apparently, she found that dress of hers in some old ruins.
Alphen, we haven't heard from you yet. Would you care to tell us your verdict?
Sure, I guess. To be honest, when I first saw Shion in that dress, I
Quit it!
was absolutely captivated.
Alright, I think that's enough fun for one day.
Looks perfect and tastes just as good.
Shion, could we talk a moment?
Hey, do you have time to talk? There's something I need to ask you.
Of course. What's up?
It's about the doll I used to have as a little girl. I gave it some more thought, and I still don't remember actually receiving it from anyone.
You were so little. I don't think it's that surprising you've forgotten, is it?
Yeah, but here's the thing. That doll was so old, I'm starting to think I just always had it with me from the start. I know that it's extremely unlikely, but after last time we talked, it got me thinking. Maybe you brought the doll that child made with you to Lenegis.
I couldn't be.
Are you saying you didn't? Look, logically speaking, I know it's a lot more likely that you didn't bring it with you than you did. But you can't say for sure you didn't, right? Crazier things have happened. I always thought I'd be alone, only to end up meeting you, and Law, and Rinwell, and Kisara, and Dohalim. Sometimes things happen in life that we never thought possible.
You make a good point. I left everyone and everything I knew behind 300 years ago. But now, I'm not so alone anymore.
Exactly. You crossed all those centuries to find all of us, so...
Why can't a little doll have made the same jump too?
Right? Look, it's up to you to decide if there's any meaning behind all of this. But I choose to think there is.
Yeah, I think so too. There's something beautiful about the whole thing that simply can't be denied.
I think it's time we go to sleep. Morning. Ready to head out?
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that! You're going to jinx us!
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her.
Sound good? All right, then let's go.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Dahnans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean... you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Dahnans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Hey, Alphen, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking, and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. Helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse. But then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shionne. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it, the true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Dahnan victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this. Together.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dahna. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dahna even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Dahnan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shionne?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Law's blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this Red Woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dahna, we need to take it back at all costs.
That Red Woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them. There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis' infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a Sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone. Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renins. The capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find? And on the other side.
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renins actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.